So let me tell you this, all right? It is 2:42 a.m. I am sleepy, so let's get through this. I was busy all day and night doing some stuff, so yeah, I'm here. I'm here now. And unfortunately, because I've been doing stuff, my freaking camera, man, I have to use the laptop camera again. But a lot of people, I saw your comments, a lot of people said they liked the camera being in the front. So I'm going to try that out and move my actual camera in the front and see how that goes. And it should be a better picture overall. But with that being said, you won't see all these like weird staticky things. With that being said, I have not been on social media, and you have to be kidding me. You got to be joking. This is ridiculous. Now, I did hear something earlier, but like I said, I wasn't really paying attention. But this right here, apparently we're back in here. Okay, so I'm gonna be real. I'm not making any definitive statements. Okay, all I know thus far is that the last deal that I heard that the San Antonio Spurs were offering, they were putting forward, was so good. It was so good. But then when Shams ended up tweeting out, hey, we should expect something from Minnesota Heat or the Houston Rockets, I knew a little bit about the Minnesota situation. It was like, whoa, I don't want to touch KD if that's what it's going to take, right? But apparently, and this is what was important, I think we said this I know I said it during live stream. I don't know if I took it from the segment, but I know I said it in the live stream, is that at this point, the best bet, or our best bet to get KD, would be KD explicitly saying these are the teams that I'm willing to sign an extension with, right? That way he is basically vetoing certain teams. So these teams have come up multitude of times. The San Antonio Spurs are a team that has been the closest to getting KD as far as mutual interest, him wanting to be here. And then and they tried with Houston Rockets, but I know the Houston Rockets actually ruined the deal a little bit, because they actually made it tougher for the Phoenix Suns, right? They made it a little tougher for the Phoenix Suns to pull the trigger because they weren't going to give up much of anything. So now it seems like it is a legitimate race here, and the Spurs are back in it, thanks to Kevin Durant. So it says here 15 times. God, dog, 15 times? 15 times? Dang. Anyways, Kevin Durant preferred trade destinations out of Phoenix, sources tell ESPN. Those across the NBA have been made aware in recent days that those are the three teams that Durant would commit to long term. So the fact that he is explicitly saying, hey, he basically said, Minnesota, if you take me, I'm there for a rental and I'm out, right? So Minnesota's like, okay, we have a 1 year time frame to win a championship. Yeah, no. But if he goes to the Spurs, Houston, or Miami Heat, then it would be an extension. So I told you that what I really would have liked happen if Minnesota were to like give away everything for KD, I wanted him to say, I want long-term with you. If they were willing to do that and the Spurs can't match, right? So it would have to be Minnesota's willing to do that, and then KD, has some mutual interest, or he's not going to veto it. Then I want them to sign him to an extension, because we already know we have their 2030. By the time that extension is probably up, we're looking good, right? They're going to have to blow it up. Like, it's going to be really ugly situation giving away your depth in exchange for KD. Like, it's not going to work. So that's what I was hoping. I was really hoping that they would be dumb enough to do that. Doesn't necessarily look like it's the case that Kevin Durant is going to allow that to happen, right? So we'll wait and see. There's so much news coming out every single day. It's starting to give me a headache. But as it stands right now, we're back in the saddle, baby. We're right back in it. Now, I am somebody who wants KD, okay? I actually do want KD. Based on what was offered, and based on what we know, I am fully on board with getting KD. Now, if this involves anything too crazy, and what I mean by that is which this is not what I've heard, okay, and this is not what's being reported right now, but if it's Steph Castle or Sohan or any, like, if it's any of those two, I'm off. I'm good. I'm good. Okay. I'm all right. I don't think I'm gonna do that. I'm okay to turn my head. Okay. Because it's also gonna have to involve more than likely the 14th pick, and this is just some very valuable assets for the future, right? But if you can manage to get rid of Barnes, which I say getting rid of Harrison Barnes, that's just like a this for that, right? Like that's not that big of a deal to me. He's a vet. You know, I know the Spurs really love him. We love him. But, you know, we know that he's a placeholder at the moment. He's doing a good job. He's a good placeholder, but he's a placeholder at the moment. Nothing crazy. So you trade a vet for a vet, and you're trading that vet for a really great vet. So there's that. One of the very few players in the NBA averaging over 26 points. So you could do that. If it's Keldon, I think that's fine, because I told you guys this so many times. I don't think that Keldon necessarily fits with the team. Devin Vassell is tough for me. It's tough for me. But as some people have brought up, me constantly saying, oh, I think he could be a fourth option, that's not really a great selling point to a lot of fans, right? So sure. Okay. I'm okay with that. And maybe even one other first round pick for the future, one of our first round picks for the future, that we own, and it's not a swap. I'm okay with that. So, that's where I'm at. That's what I'm feeling, right? Anything outside of that, you replace Harrison Barnes with one of Castle or Sohan, I'm off. I don't think that's a good idea. I think that's a really bad idea, right? Very bad idea. So that's where I'm at. That's not what's being reported. That's not what I know of. But as it stands right now, KD back on the table. We're right there. So seems like it's something different every single day. Something different every single day, man. It's giving me a headache. I'll be honest. I might have the headache because it's so late. But all right, let me see. Any thoughts here? They can have Malachi and KJ for cash. I wonder how the Phoenix Suns view KJ. I don't know if Malachi would do it. They might want Blake. Thoughts on pursuing Pelicans? On pursuing Pelicans? What you mean? Anyways, thanks for always making content. I love you. Crimson Tears. When I read Crimson, I thought of Chen. I thought Crimson Chen. Anyways, that's all I had to say about this.